more introduction to logs. So this top part is just kind of for your information type thing. We have a common logarithm, and that is a log with the base 10. And this one, it can be written without a base number. So without this little subscript number, we don't have to write log base 10 of x. We can just write log and an x. You still would read that log base 10 of x, but it's just understood that if there is no number, no subscript number, then it is 10. Okay, like I said, that's separate information. Now we're going to go into evaluating our logs. So before we were looking at, we would have log base number of a number equals a number. Well, now we need to find this number and find our x. So we can do that by writing this in our exponential forms, just log base 7 of 49 equals x. So we've got our base of 7 to the x power equals 49. And we need to figure out that x. So there's some that are like this, and these examples up here that are pretty easy to find out. What we're looking for really is, we know that our exponents, it means our base times itself so many times, right? So we can figure this out pretty quickly, right? If I take 7 times itself would just be 7, so that's not our x, so 1 is not our x. 7 times 7 is 49, so how many 7s do we have? We have 2, so that means that x must equal 2. Does that make sense? Let's look at this other example. We've got log base 2 of 64 equals x. So 2 to the x power equals 64. So we want to see 2 times 2, how many times it takes to get to 64. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. And you see the pattern. So we keep multiplying by 2 until we get to 64, which would be 6. So then our x is 6. So log base 2 of 64 equals 6. Okay? This one over here, log base 9 of 1/8 equals x. And I put a instead of a b, this would be. So base 9 of x equals 1/81. Okay, so remember that if we've got a fraction here, that means that our exponent is a negative number. So we're still going to do the same thing. We're trying to find out 9, how many times multiplied by itself equals this 81. So 9 times 9 is 81. So we have 2 9s, so our x value is 2, but since we've got it in a fraction, our x value is negative 2. So log base 9 of 1/81 equals negative 2. All right, log base 10 equals 100, or of 100 equals x. Okay, so remember what we were talking about here. If there is no subscript number, it's understood 10. So our base is 10 to the x power equals 100. So 10 how many times equals 100? Well, that's 2. Remember, we're not multiplying 10 times 2. That would give us 20. We're multiplying 10 times 10. All right. Some of these, though, are not easy like that. So if I look at this one right here, we've got log base 16 of 64 equals x. So base 16 of x equals 64. If I take 16 times 16, that equals 256. And if I just have one 16, that's 16. But 64 is somewhere in between here, so that's what we have to figure out. So what we need to do is we need to do this change of base. So this is if it's uneasy to evaluate. Yeah. So we are going to change our log into a log base 10 of A over log base 10 of B. And our A's and B's, our B is this one. So this is the B, that's where that comes from, and this is the A. Okay. So we're going to change this into log base 10 of 64. That's the big number over the small number. Okay, and then I'm putting this in the calculator, and when I do, I get 1.5. Same thing here, log base 54, big number over small number. Put in the calculator, I get 5.8. This bottom one is actually one that is like this, one of these examples up here. It actually works out where you can evaluate it easy, but if you don't want to, then you can still do your change of base and put it in your calculator. Here's the thing, guys, though, now that I went through all of that, you do at school have a TI Inspired, so if you are on campus or if you have it downloaded onto your computer, all of these that ask you to evaluate, you can put into your calculator. You hit Control, and one of the buttons is, you'll see the little log, it just says log in yellow, and then you can put it with any base and get your answer. So you can do it the calculator way, or you can do it this handwritten way. I might ask you to do it either way or both.